Calvin, the condo hater. No, I wanted to say the condo hater, but
What could
I'm too arrogant. So, Calvin, what's your take on this idea? You
You
need the
think
mic.
Eric need to sell? So naive.
actually? No leh, I think 60K is not pathetic leh.
I never say it was pathetic. I say it's stretching it.
You don't
Yeah.
need loan anyway. You're just gonna throw the down payment in, plus a lot more. Huh? So, welcome back to another episode of the Backholder Pod. I think increasingly we have seen the power of social media, and we have also seen some other professions, specifically in the real estate industry. I think more and more of them are trying to be full-time real estate agents, part-time content creator, and they are posting valuable insights and maybe some of their point of views. Specifically, I think on both on TikTok and also on YouTube. So recently, we've came across this interesting video with the title "Why You Must in capitalization MUST upgrade to secure your retirement." Essentially, I believe the crux of the video is talking about how you need to accept progress, basically going through the typical BTO route and then buying a condo and then upgrading to a bigger house and then downgrade for retirement. So I think before we go into the discussion proper, why is it a must in order to secure retirement? I think there's an implicit meaning that if you don't upgrade, means that your retirement is a goner. Maybe before we start, I'll get Bunti to provide your opinion and maybe a quick summary of the two-part video that you have watched.
Yep. So like Chicken said, it's a two-parts video. So I'm just recalling what I remember because I watched that video a few days ago. So essentially, I think the guy is a property agent. So that's the context. And then he's trying to convince people to say that, okay, if you just HDB and let's say the property is already MOP or whatever, and you just keep that property without doing any upgrading, then first thing is that you need to calculate how much that you need for your retirement. And then after it's like illustrating the problem of like just staying with HDB and then there's no way for you to downgrade to cash out or to unlock the value. The alternative that he's trying to convince is that why not you do your upgrading now, meaning buying a condo. And then because we all expect that the condo will appreciate value, at least in the absolute terms, is much higher than the HDB, right? So after, let's say, like 10, 20 years, I can't remember exactly how many years he mentioned, but the point is that at some point, you will be able to downgrade to, let's say, like a smaller unit or to a HDB and to cash out that money, and that money can be used to support your retirement. So in a way, it's like trying to promote using condo as forced saving and use that to secure your retirement. I find that quite interesting because I know that this approach, although I think it's not used by four of us here, but it is quite a common strategy whereby people think that actually forced saving, just throw your money into property and wait for the property to appreciate in value, which if you look at the historical appreciations of all this real estate, right, you can see that really you can earn money from that. And also with the help of leverage, that also boosts up your net worth. And the last part is that the downgrading, the cash out, the unlock part is crucial in this entire thesis. I find it's quite interesting, but let's open this for further discussion.
Calvin, the condo hater. No, I wanted to say the condo hater, but
What could
I'm too arrogant. So, Calvin, what's your take on this idea?
Okay, first of all, I think he is speaking from his point of view lah. Because he's a property agent so obviously he will recommend property as a good investment vehicle. But if you ask people like, let's say Punti or Adam Khoo, they will recommend stocks because that's where they are good at. Then if you ask Eric, he will maybe say, you go and teach tuition lah. Then if you ask me, then I'll say, you go and start YouTube. That's how you can retire with a lot of money. So I think for property, actually, it might be one of the easier ways Singaporeans can grow their wealth lah. So because I think for most people, they'll be parking a lot of their money in, first of all, HDB is basically a forced savings. Straight away park in like 200K already. Then after that, you keep growing it every year, all the way until 20 plus years later. Then you can retire already. Downgrade and retire. In the middle, you still need to upgrade lah. Is it the best way? This I have no idea. But looking at the past trends, assuming that we can extrapolate into the future, then this is a good strategy, assuming property doesn't go down ever. Yeah. But then you still have to accept that there are certain periods that property may not go up. So what if one day you want to retire, then that year the property market crash, then you wholesale out. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my thought.
But actually, if the property crash, right, and then you can't cash out as much, right? But when you buy into your smaller house, actually also should theoretically be cheaper, because the whole market is down. So I guess you still can cash out a sizable sum of money. But I just wanted to know what about Eric's thoughts. Eric, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a unmute button. I think the enticing thing about property as an investment, right, is that you can buy and rent it out. And if your agent settles everything, there's minimal things you need to do, basically. So you just rent out like 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Yeah, lor. So you basically it's quite passive, lor.
Yeah, but in this case, I don't think he's talking about like buying additional property just for renting out. I think the thesis that he's trying to illustrate is that you, from let's say HDB, you upgrade staying in condo, meaning it's like I don't know, like is I presume that not everyone can afford like having an HDB and then not needing selling your HDB and just buy another condo, right? So I think the easiest step for most people will be, okay, you just do the upgrading, you cash out from your HDB and then upgrade, right? Then at some point, then that you downgrade. So I think that was mentioned in the video.
But it also assumes a lot of things there. Like, okay, let's say if you downgrade from condo, right now you downgrade, I think you need to wait like 15 months, right? So what if the government suddenly add more cooling measures? You need to wait 5 years. So you go and stay in a hotel for 5 years before you can, or maybe you rent a house before you can get back your own HDB. So like you're opening up yourself to a lot of unknown risks. Then the other thing is like, let's say if you buy condo now, you're going to lock out yourself out of optionalities. So HDB, you can achieve financial freedom, like maybe chicken, you don't need to have kids. Just stay in HDB. Boom, you straight away retire in your 30 plus. Then condo cannot. You have to retire in your 50s, 60s already. Then maybe you have to work for Adam Crew all your life. Right? Maybe that's a good thing. Right?
Yeah, I just want to call out to one video by Josh. So he also, I think in one of his recent video mentioned about there's this couple, family income about 16,000, and then he's thinking about like whether he should upgrade, buy a condo. I think he mentioned about like 2.3 million. Can he afford that? And he's already have existing house that have some equity in it, so he can actually sell that and upgrading, right? Then after he run through the number, he said actually it's not recommended because he's overstretching himself. Like, and also you need to consider a lot of things, including age, children, commitment, and so on. But for that family, he said that I think it's still no children, but plan to have children. So I think all this, after like considering all aspects, right? I think he said that don't overstretch it, because also property rent up a lot in the past. Let's say like 7 years doesn't mean it will rent up as much in the next 7 years, right? I think that's something I find quite important. And then the other thing I want to mention is that I personally is not a fan of this upgrade then downgrade kind of approach, because when you upgrade, you feel that it's like upgrading of your lifestyle, right? Now, instead of like staying in HDB, staying together with poor people, now you become like part of the rich people, right? Then suddenly at some point, then you need to downgrade and join the poor people group again. So I think that one, I think it will, after some time, you will try to like pressure yourself to continue to stay there rather than, I can just downgrade, but as if there's no downgrade in lifestyle, So that's because that's why I'm not a fan of this kind of approach.
I'm curious to hear what's Chicken's plan though. Like, you are going to get your BTO soon. Are you planning to sell after 5 years or maybe 10 years? Then you upgrade, then you downgrade back.
Wouldn't be sooner, but I don't think there is a lot of planning that goes into that, because at the end of the day, even if you want to upgrade, you need to have high income first, then you talk about upgrading. Unless you're earning like few 100,000 a year, like Eric like that, then you lump sum 1 million
You think
down.
Eric earns so little, man?
Anyway, but yeah, he can lump sum down payment 1+ million. Then okay lah. I mean, if you want to upgrade, if you think you made financial assessment and it's comfortable for lifestyle, sure, why not? But then if you are always in the very tight band, meaning you are stuck in the middle where your income is okay, it's decent, but it's not like few 100,000 a month, that kind, like what Eric is doing, then you also too high, maybe you breach the income ceiling of HDB if you want to go for a BTO a second time. Then that's the trickier part, right? Meaning you are nowhere, you are not here, not there. And then maybe the equity that you build up in your first home is also not here, not there. Meaning it's sizable, but maybe it's not enough to push to that case study that Josh basically talked about. But I think it was quite interesting where Josh was saying that, and I'm not too sure if you guys follow him, but he has been trying to time the property market. So he actually holds two property the other time, one HDB and one condo. And he sold out his HDB the other time because he thought that it was kind of like a part of a momentary peak in the current property cycle. I think a lot of people can kind of point at $1 million HDBs or whatever and say that, oh, the Singapore market is expensive. But trying to time the market though, I think that's a separate discussion because it can stay expensive for a very long time, like the S&P 500, for example. So if you try to do the buy and sell, right, I think that's when it starts to get dangerous in a way. That's my perspective. Sorry, I'm a bit out of question, but back to Calvin's question. For now, I think you just wait and see lah. There's a lot of things that will change. Like you said, you can early retire, you can fire. Next time, if you need kids, you need to move to somewhere nearer to primary school. Next time your parents are getting older and older, you need to move nearer to them. So many considerations. That's why trying to tie in all these factors, right, with an investment idea sounds good in theory lah. But when you want to execute, I don't know how effective it is compared to when I put money into investing, which is equities. I really know this for investing. There is no my dad say I think Nvidia is the company is not good. That's why I cannot buy Nvidia. There's no this sort of considerations at the side. So that's why I try to kind of separate them together. Of course, back to the point of what Eric said, of course I don't want to lose money when I go into a property. But sometimes this kind of thing, nobody knows and yeah, that's just my perspective.
Actually, there are a lot more options than just playing condo lah. So for property, one thing that you can do is, okay, first of all, if you live in a, let's say BTO lah, because BTO is subsidized in a way then you straight away get like 20, 30K, no, 100K plus straight away into your CPF. So technically you can downgrade from a new BTO down to a resale HDB.
The 100K is only if you buy resale first time. BTO has no grant unless it's income related.
Yeah, but cut that. So what I mean is BTO is subsidized. Okay, so when you buy, okay, cut that also. So when you buy a new house, whether it's BTO or resale, for BTO he has lesser grant, but yes, it's subsidized by about like 10 to 30%. So when once it reach MOP, your BTO flat, the price will straight away adjust upwards to match its surrounding neighbors. Then if you buy resale, your grant can reach up to like 100K plus. So either way, you are still getting that free money. Then eventually when you retire, you can sell off this new/old resale flat to buy an older, smaller resale flat. So you don't always have to upgrade to a new condo, then tie yourself up. So that's the first option. The second option is to do this lease buyback scheme. So you sell the remaining period of your flat back to the government, which either way, the house is going to depreciate in value anyway. So there's very little point to pass it down to your descendants because they are going to get something that's almost reaching zero value. So you can consider doing this lease buyback scheme. So just sell back. Then the third one is downgrade to a 2-room flexi flat. So this, I think, is a bit like rental flat, but it's not rental flat. You're renting this period of HDB from the government, and you just stay in there. So there's a lot of other ways instead of just condo all the way. Yeah. So that's the thing. But I think among us, Eric has the highest chance to reach this dream. For Eric, what's your plan?
Eric also cut that.
No, I trying to find. Oh, I'm unmuted already. I'm trying to find the unmute button. Realize I'm unmuted already. Okay, dream. It's not really like a dream lah. Like if I don't stay in condo, at the end of the day, I'm fine with it because I'm actually very comfortable staying in my HDB. It's a nice place, nice, convenient, everything. So that's why all these years, even though we MOP like quite a few years ago, I think 2020 MOP already, but we didn't really quickly go and buy a condo. We didn't do that because we're very comfortable. We want to find a place that is near where we are staying currently. Yeah, so the convenience and the amenities and the family nearby, it means more to us than maybe staying at a very atas place. Because if you want to buy a condo anyway, right? Anywhere, there's so many condos you can like literally buy it the next month if you really want it lah. But we are very selective. We want to stay at this certain location. So we got to wait until there's a suitable kind of opportunity, then we go on to it. But one thing I I do agree with Josh, right? Is that when I watch his video, I agree that sometimes people think that, oh, I buy this property, right? 3 to 5 years later, I sell, I will get like 150K. Like it's almost confirmed. They say, and they're like almost confirmed. Usually it's the property agent. Then they'll look at me, 3 to 5 years, you move, you don't want me? You move once you get 150K, you don't want me? So actually what I want to say is like my wife has done the condo. She bought a condo and sold it after renting it out. Then I think we calculated, right? After all the fees deducted, right? Actually basically she doesn't earn anything. That is a period where property went nowhere. I think 2014 to about 2020. It didn't actually go anywhere. So she held for 6 years, rented out for like I think 3 to 4 years. Then everything basically just break even. Factoring in the interest from the CPF, all the transaction fee, stamp duty, then lawyer's fee, then buy a bit of furniture, a bit of maintenance, everything count in, right? Then like, never really earn anything. But on paper, it's like they, earn a little bit of money. I think anything like that is 100K and below, right? For nowadays transaction, 100K and below, basically you lose money lah. After all the transaction and after all the basic reno. I'm not saying like you do extensive, basic one, you already considered lose money already. So when you see all the property agents, whatever, right, and they say, hey, wow, this unit profits 150,000, this one 100,000 profit, very good. Wow, 100,000. But all the 100,000 one is as if there's no profit if you held it for at least 5 years. And a lot of them, they I think they sell like 5 to 8 years. And we haven't even count in the fact that your additional income, right, is taxed at a personal level. So if you count your excess personal tax, right, from there, it might be even worse. So if your property you buy like 1.5 million, right, and your after 5 years you make like 100K, you sell it, you make 100K, right? You basically lost money. You basically lost money. You're worse off than before you started. So I do think that need to be a bit cautious lah. Like don't just think that you go in, confirm what. You buy the right property, confirm what? How you know yours is the right property? Like, oh, the agent will say, if you follow my recommendation, sure what one, confirm. But sometimes you all know Sky Habitat. I don't know whether you all know Sky Habitat. It's this condo, right? Very famous one, just beside the Bishan MRT. I think after they very, very, very big hoo-ha about it because it's walking distance to Bishan. And supposedly it's very good location. Then the design is very iconic. Y'all can Google it and take a look. But I think the price wise, right, because it was priced quite high, relative to the other condos nearby, it actually it stagnated, no, after it TOP. So that was for a very long period, they were like underwater, not making money. Even though the condo is like a hot, it's a hot pick. So I don't know, like just have idea that be a little bit more realistic lah sometimes. Yeah, I know that when I buy condo, right, doesn't mean that I confirm will make money. But I buy it because I want to stay at a nice place. That's about it. Not because I don't want to be with poor people, like what? Because it's still the same location. Like it's almost exactly like walking distance.
Yeah.
So it's the same locale. Yeah.
But come back to the original video, right? Maybe I agree with you. Let's say if we just hold 3, 5, 7 years and thought that just profit at 100K, you still need to deduct the expenses, interest costs, and so on. So there are a lot of costs that people may like overlook. So I think that's important. But let's say come back to this original video where the person say that it's not like 3, 5, 7 years. It's really like now, let's say like, okay, I'm 38 this year. I just upgrade condo and then just hold it for 20 years, then downgrade, right? So we're talking about like much longer period where there's enough time for, the condo to appreciate in price. And I believe, let's say if you point to any, let's say 1.2 million condo versus my 500K HDB, right? Of course, the condo will appreciate more, right? So this one, I think is kind of agree with this logic. And plus the concept that I want to discuss with you is that the forced saving, right? As if you can only do forced saving through like condo. And some people say that buying insurance, let's say like saving plan and so on, also is a forced saving, not forced insurance, forced saving. So, but without all these tools, right, like property to help you with the forced saving, you can also force yourself to save and invest in other form of investment, right? So that's my preferred
This one
approach.
cannot. Some
Cannot.
people, I think you are using your own mentality when you look at this. Some people is, even if let's say you DCA, you set up IB, own self draw out the money, right? Because it's liquid, that's what they can sell. Sell already, they can still use the money to go and buy the latest iPhone or buy or go to a trip to Rome or go and see Northern Lights or whatever it is. So that's why sometimes when insurance policy, for example, when they surrender, it becomes zero, especially the first few years. Then specifically for property, you need a very long lead time. Like you need to put up for sale, people need to come viewing, then you issue option, then go down HDB hub, blah blah blah, right? So that one, there are a lot of process which the friction is a lot higher. So that's why I think the forced saving logic, I think it still holds for quite a bit of people. But on the idea of this 报价 confirm make money thing, right? Like Eric shared, even though you are on a prime land, which is the Singapore island, I guess in a way the entry price, the valuation still matters because like any investing, like any stocks, like any property, if you pay too high a price, there is a point in time where the price becomes too high and the property or the land doesn't appreciate quick enough for you to get a profit. But I guess in a way you can argue that, oh, if I keep moving to a higher quantum, meaning I asset progress, 500,000, 1 million, 1.5, 2 million, by the time I'm ready to retire, this property is worth 2.5. Then when I exit, I can downgrade to a much smaller 2-room flexi. Then the amount, don't care whether you got earn money or not, even net, you break even, but the amount you unlock for your retirement, I think it's still a sizable sum for retirement. That's why I guess that's the logic. But then let's also not forget the incentive for you to keep going up is somebody sure make money in the process. The lawyers and the property agent. These two groups of people confirm make money, whether you break even or not. So that's the context that you need to keep in mind when you talk about discussing about this property cycle. Yeah.
No, YouTubers who talk about it also make money.
Yes. So that's why you need to be aware of the incentive structure here. Anything else? But Eric haven't talked about his own plan. Do you treat your next condo move as a retirement plan? Would you sell and especially after your kids grow up and he move out already, will you downgrade and to unlock that cash value? Assuming that you need
You
the
think
money.
Eric need to sell? So naive.
Actually, personally, right, I'm quite lazy to keep moving house. I'm a bit lazy in that sense. If possible, I would like to stay in the same place.
State lah for
I don't know. Even if I move, right, I really don't want to like move until a very far place from my family, because like nearby there's a lot of convenience also. Yeah, like for example, my mom cooked some dessert. Then she, hey, come over and take. Just drop by and take some nice dessert. But if I stay Jurong, no way, mom. I think I'll just buy it.
For the Grab deliver over.
That is like extra money though, which we don't need to spend on. Yeah. So anyway, I was just thinking back the case study that Josh went through, right? I thought, wow, that couple very quite ballsy. Like as in they earn 16K and they are thinking of upgrading to a big condo. A combined income 16K, I think going for a full condo, right, and a big one at that, I think is stretching it a little bit.
No leh, I think 60K is not pathetic leh.
I never say it was pathetic. I say it's stretching it. It's stretching it. Like if they are going for a two bedroom, right? I think still okay. Yeah, but
Eric, what is
Big
full condo? Got half condo, man?
like EC lor, like those that is not a full condo, but it's like a bit subsidized one. Yeah. So those subsidized one is like 20% cheaper because you have HDB rules and you have an income cap. I think if their income is like 16K, right? I think it's below the EC income cap. So they could probably go for the EC. I think it would maybe work a little bit better than a full condo, resale condo. Wow. I think that one is going to be like 2 mil or something like that for the size that they want. And then they haven't factored in they are going to start a family. And then because they are 40 plus, because I'm also 40 plus, I know my loan tenure is like super short. So
you don't need loan anyway. You're just gonna throw the down payment in plus a lot more, right?
no, I
Lump sum.
I think property, right? Property, I don't, even if you have the cash, I don't think you should pay off the whole thing. I don't think so, because property loan, I think, is one of the lowest interest rate around. Now it's, I think, if I'm not wrong, it's about 2.9 to 3%. So I think because it's around the same rate as inflation and SSB and all that, so if you got the cash, why not you keep it liquid? Then at least the SSB give you 3.1 or something. Then the loan itself is only 3. So you're actually earning a little bit and having more options. Yeah, so don't pay off. I don't think pay off property loan unless the interest go like crazy. 4-5%, then makes sense to pay off.
So the conclusion is, I think Eric is chasing for lifestyle. I think as best as possible, if he don't need it, he won't sell. As in, he doesn't treat condo, the upgrade, as part of his retirement nest egg. I presume there's still a lump sum in Tesla and whatever it is for his retirement when Tesla 10x from here.
Yeah, Tesla is more than enough lah.
Yeah, any concluding thoughts from Bunti or Kelvin? If not, we look forward to your comments in the comments down below on what you guys think of using condo as a retirement tool. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.